Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to Wildflower Wolves YouTube channel. It is Monday, which means it's New Start Monday Knits. I've got a new project ready to start tonight. You guys were helping to vote for it. So the agenda for tonight is the same as it is every single Monday night. Grab some knitting, get a drink, get comfy. We're going to chat for an hour. We're going to talk about the yarn that you all voted for tonight and some of the projects that the idea what I'm going to do with it. I've got a few other projects that I've been working on over the last week. I will show you some updates on those, and then we'll just chat about whatever you're working on, maybe the Fiber Friends challenge, because oh yes, Fiber Friends challenge ends tonight and a brand new challenge starts tomorrow. So maybe we'll talk about that towards the end. Okay, yarn for this week's project. Stash yarn, because you guys, I am I am in serious yarn cleaning mode. I started, I don't know, when did I start? A couple months ago. I got off to a really, really good start. And then I got distracted and I didn't do anything for a little while. And this past weekend, I really, really, really buckled down and got some more organizing done. So, part of the deal with organizing my yarn is once I've weighed it and um, recorded the weight, because I'm trying to keep track of how much yarn I actually have, which I have already decided is going to be a very, 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 very big number. So we'll see if I actually tell you what it is, but that's the plan right now. So once I have weighed it and recorded it and put it on the shelf, I can't knit with it because then that's going to mess up my totals. So I had to go find some yarn that I had not sorted through, and this is what I came up with. There was a great big huge bag that has a lot of super bulky, chunky yarn in it, and this these two balls were sitting in there, and I thought, you know what? These look like pumpkins. And I haven't knit any pumpkins yet this fall. It's the end of September, September 30th today, and I haven't knit any pumpkins. So I thought, this is what I need to work on for this week. So I just grabbed these two because they looked like the most appropriate color for pumpkins, but really pumpkins can be any color, right? But this one here, so let's talk about the yarn. So Bernat Plush Big. So I don't know, plush, does it feel, it feels a little different than the other Bernat Big. And honestly, maybe not quite as big. I've got the big cat that I knit a couple of Halloweens ago. She's sitting here and her yarn looks way thicker than this. But anyways, I'm not going to worry about that tonight. Anyway, Bernat Plush. That's what it says. Yes, Plush Big. So it's a Yarnspirations yarn. It's 8.8 ounces, 250 grams. And I know from knitting with this does not go, it does not go very far. There's not a whole lot of yardage in here. There's 41 meters, 45 yards. So with these big, super big, bulky yarns, you do need a number of balls for a project. But I've got this. The colorway is caramel. It's a number 7 jumbo. It recommends size 25 millimeter needles. So here we are. There is this one, or there is this one. You guys know I have got like this crazy stash of Karen cakes because they're so hard to resist because they're just so fun. And this has got, what is it called? Sprinkle cakes. And that's exactly what it looks like. Sprinkles on here. And this one here is a size 6. So it is also what was this, is a super bulky, and this one was jumbo, wasn't it? Yeah, because there was like way, obviously huge, huge different size of the yarn. But sprinkles, what colorway is this? Mocha Rainbow is what this one's called. And it calls for an 8 millimeter needle. And this is, I'm pretty sure there's some wool in here. 77% acrylic, 20% wool, and 3% other fibers, which will be the sprinkles, I'm assuming. What? I don't, that leads me to ask, what kind of fiber is it? Would it not just be acrylic? Well, maybe it's nylon. Maybe it's nylon. It's a mystery fiber. Anyways, it looks fun. It could make up a really fun pumpkin. This, of course, will be 100% acrylic, 100% polyester is what this is. Does feel really, really nice. It has a very plush feel to it. So there was 112 votes, I think, today is what I counted. And it was close. Really, really, really close, you guys. So I was really interested to see which way you guys were going to go. Would you go something more traditional? Because this does look like a pumpkin, right? It's not orangey, like up here orange, but it does look pumpkiny, right? Looks very fallishy. And then this here does just look kind of fall. The chocolate browns, the beige, maybe, I don't know, maybe not the sprinkles so much, like the blue and the red and the pink or the white. No, what am I saying? Blue, red, there is little yellow, orangey sparkle or sprinkles. Anyways, guess what I'm saying is, which way were you guys going to go? Something a little more traditional, something a little different, more fallish versus Halloweeny, whatever. And it was super, 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 super close. 55% of the votes went to the winning yarn. So it was really close. There was, some people said do the Karen cakes because it looks fun, do something a little non-traditional. Can't remember who it was. Somebody said that this year would look really fun with like a textured stitch, like seed stitch. I forget what she said. Like a popcorn, maybe popcorn stitch is maybe what they said. Anyways, oh, Cindy, you couldn't decide, so you didn't pick one. Oh my gosh. So, anyways, this one here will knit up super, super quick. I don't know, they both will knit up really quick, right? So, anyways, what else can I say? There was, some people voted. This one, I'm looking at Nikki's comment saying that here in Canada, September 30th is Truth and Reconciliation Day and is otherwise also known as Orange Shirt Day. So today there was a lot of people out wearing orange in support, which was really wonderful to see. So there was some people saying go for orange because it's Truth and Reconciliation Day. A couple people said do both. It's always my idea to do both. If I have yarn for any project, a hat, socks, I always think, oh, if I have lots of knitting time, I could just do both. But that never happens. So we're going with pumpkins because it's fun, it's going to be quick, it's seasonal, and who doesn't like to have lots of pumpkins? So the yarn that I'm casting on is going to be, Liz is giving me my drum roll. I'm right on time. Is it going to be the Karen cakes? Is it going to be the Bernat Big Plush? Insert your own pretend drum roll here. And the winning yarn for this week's super fun project is the orange. Or the caramel. We'll call it orange because it's like a pumpkin-y orange. So this one here is going to go back in my bag. I will just literally just throw it right back in there and I will deal with it later. So anyway, this is going to be fun. This yarn is really, really nice. It is really, really smooth. Whatever they've done to make it plush is nice. It would make a great pillow. Could use the pumpkin as a pillow maybe. Anyways, yes, and pumpkin orange. Yes, pumpkin orange It's great. So this is going to be a great color. Now it said, what did I say, 25 millimeter needle. I think I'm going to go a little bit smaller than that because I have knit with this and on a 25, and the gauge, my gauge is really, really loose with it. So I'm going to go something smaller. I mean, what, when you get those such big, big needles, you go 25, 20. What's after 20? Is it like 15 and 12? It's not like there's 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It's a kind of a big jump in there. So I might try a 20. I might try a 15 or a 20 and see. I think in the past, I think my cat, Magic the cat, I think I ended up doing her on a 20, and there's still some space, but her yarn, I'm sure, is like way thicker than this. So I'm wondering I might even go to a 15. I don't know. It'll be I'm not going to say gauge swatch because it's a pumpkin. So I'll just see what is going to be snug for this because I don't want any of the stuffing showing through on here. So, hello to everybody who's in the chat. There's quite a few people: Nancy, Jennifer, Ann, Amber, Jocelyn. Sorry, Cindy, Liz, Nancy, um, Nikki, Nita, Kim, Joe, Dawn, Carol. Hi, everybody. So, here's a question for you guys that's here in the chat. Have you knit any pumpkins this season? Is it something that you have done in the past? Are you going to knit any? I did a few last year, not as many as I had really wanted to. So this is kind of what I'm thinking for this fall season. I'm thinking I'm just going to knit a bunch. And honestly, the yarn that I just put back in the bag, I maybe will do some out of that too, because I think honestly, if I was picking between the two, the Bernat or the Caron cakes or the Bernat blanket, I think I would have went the Caron cake. But I'm really excited to do this one here as well. So I think I'm just going to do it super easy. I'm going to knit a tube. I'm just going to knit a tube. I'm not even, you could get fancy. You could cast on from the center and come out and make, you know, but I'm not. I'm just going to do a tube. And then I'm going to run the tail through, actually just probably pull the tail. We'll see if it'll pull or run it through and then pull it. And just pull the cast on edge like a drawstring. So sorry, I'm getting mixed up between the circular crank. On the circular crank, you can just pull the cast on tail and it zips up like a drawstring. So when I cast on with a long tail, I'll just leave a long enough tail that I can just weave it through along the cast on edge, and then we'll just pull it through like a drawstring. And you either, I mean, I could do a stockinette tube. I could do stockinette sections and then put a purl stitch just so there's more of a defined area when you wrap the yarn. Or I've got twine I'm going to wrap around to snug it. But anyway, basically just do a tube. You have to do the tube taller than you actually want your pumpkin, because when you wrap the yarn around it, it really does squash it down a little bit. And then I have got some cinnamon sticks that I'm just going to put in for the stem. Just do super, super easy. So I think it'll be fun. And where is, oh my gosh, here it is. Can you see it up there? No. Oh, it's just out of, okay, here it is. So I grabbed jute cord from the dollar store. It's it only came in one thickness. So I really do plan on doing quite a few pumpkins. It's my plan. We'll see if that actually happens. So I've got some other cord here that is finer for some yarn that's not as thick. So kind of between the two, I kind of feel like I want pumpkins to have this rusticy kind of look with the natural cord around them. Plus, I don't know. Honestly, I don't think there'll be enough of this left after I knit this ball to And I don't know if this would work the best. It might. Anyways, I'm gonna put cord around it, but you can do whatever you want. So that is my plan. Oh, Liz, you're thinking about knitting some ghosts. That would be fun. Sally, you've made pumpkins in the past. Don't know if you will this year. Diane, oh, you did. Super bulky chenille turned out atrocious. Oh no. I've done them in the past with success, but not that one. So was it the yarn or was it too big? Was it just the chenille part? Is it just the chenille? I'm guessing it's just the chenille that was um what didn't go so well. Oh, Alice, your local yarn shop is doing a pumpkin stitch along. You just finished yours. Well, that's, I know, it's so fun, right? It's such a quick and fun project, whether you knit or you crochet them. Crochet gives them a really fun texture. You can do big ones, you can small ones, you can do any size, thickness of yarn. It's just so much fun. Hi, Dawn. Oh, you started one with some super bulky, but chose too large of a needle. You frogged it and you plan to try again. So is everybody just doing the tube and just doing zipping up the top and the bottom, stuff, stuffing, pulling closed, keeping it super simple, right? Anybody doing any texture like seed stitch or putting cables on? Like, I mean, really, the sky is completely the limit, right? For putting some texture in there. Oh, all of the above, Diane says. Fantastic. Hi, Sherry. Oh, if you do a series of square knots, like tying shoes, oh, it makes a great stem or vine. Hey, Sherry, that's a great idea. It would. I like that. I will have to try that. Oh, Alice, yours was a tube with cables. Lovely. Um, I had seen somewhere, and in my, never gonna be able to find it now when I want it. I thought it was meant to be. I remember seeing, I don't know where I was. I was in a store that had some pumpkins. Oh, actually, yeah, I think it was just a store, like not even handmade pumpkins, but just, all the stores right now have different types of pumpkins out of all different kinds of, wood and ceramic and plastic and fabric, all the different things. And one of them just had a pipe cleaner. And, like rolling a pipe cleaner around a pen just to make it curly, and then they had it twisted around whatever they had for the stem. And I thought, "Oh, that looked kind of fun too." And when I was up here organizing, I was pulling yarn out of some bags, and I came across a bag that I had still packed from last Halloween that had some like DK weight orange in it that I had used on the little crank machine to crank out tubes and stuff them to make little pumpkins. And I'd had some green pipe cleaners in there. So I thought, oh, maybe I might try. I don't know. I think it depends on the yarn if I'm gonna like the pipe cleaner on it or not. I don't know. I'm not entirely sold on that, but Sherry's idea about doing so you just take so Sherry, so you could do that with the yarn or with the jute cord and just tie knots in it. And then it would just you just kind of be able to twist it around and it would make a good, yeah, stem or a vine. That would be I kinda like that. I think I would like the look of that better than the pipe cleaner. But, pipe cleaners are a good idea, or, if you've got kids doing them, the kids might like pipe cleaners. That would be fun. It would be fun to knit the tubes. Oh my gosh, like a Thanksgiving craft if for families, right? If you had little kids or adults who are young at heart, if you just knit the tubes and then just take all the stuffing and things to embellish and just have people finish their own, stuff it, and that might be a fun little craft for some kids, wouldn't it? Mary, you use several strands of raffia tied in a bow. Raffia, I like that. I like that idea. Mary, you made oh, that's right. Yes, I saw a post about your retreat. And I remember this past summer you were doing pumpkins for everybody and then you had leaves and stems and things that you were doing too, right? Everybody had pumpkins welcome gift in their room. Oh my gosh, Mary, you have a knack for organizing things like that, don't you? Okay. Oh my god. Okay, so there's all kinds of ideas. I like the raffia idea. I really like that. Or nodding. Okay, I'm gonna try those. I think those are my two. I think I'm gonna ditch the pipe cleaner idea and go with raffia instead. Wonderful. You guys are always so filled with great ideas. Okay, so this is this week's project. I'm also um I'm also hoping that this is one I can get finished. We will see. I am not going to hold out any hope, but fingers crossed. Okay, my never ending shawl is still never ending, but it is getting big, you guys. Look at this. Oh my goodness. This is going to be so fun to wear. It's getting really, really long. It's getting long. It's getting wide. I'm getting towards the end of the yarn. So this is the yarn that I got 5 years ago this past August when I was with Mary. Mary, I don't think Mary, you weren't actually with us in Hobby Lobby, but we were together at the Michigan Fiber Festival. And let's see, it's getting long enough that I can't stretch it out on my needle. So it's getting there. And look at the colors. I'm getting into that darker teal, which is a sign that I'm getting towards the end because the end is super, super dark. And let's see. I still have it on my little yarn caddy. And tell it's getting less and less yarn. One of these weeks, very, very soon, somewhat soon, hopefully before Christmas, I'm going to come on and tell you guys that this is done. But there is still, hold on, I've got my scale right here. I can tell you, like it's getting less and less. But you know what? Uh oh, hold on. Oh, there we go. It's getting less and less, but there's still a lot there. Oh my goodness, you guys. I maybe shouldn't have waited. Well, I don't know. 45 grams. 45 grams. That is still like half a ball. If I was knitting 100-gram balls, this is still half a ball. I'm like not really that close to being done. Done. Anyways, this was a massive ball to start with. Yarn Bee Yarn. Um, Yarn Rhapsody might have been the name of this yarn, and the colorway is Teal of Fortune. It's an acrylic acrylic cotton blend. It's very, very lovely to knit with. It is very, very fine though. It is like a light fingering weight. It's lovely. It will make a beautiful scarf, shawl, wrap when it's finished. 45 grams left to go. Okay, I'll be knitting for a little while, but we're getting there. But I did move my marker, so I did do a little bit. This is kind of my first thing in the morning. I wake up, I sit in bed, and I do 2 rows. This is kind of thing, but there was a couple of mornings this week that I didn't do that because I was saying last night with Cheryl that I had a really, 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 really busy work week last week. Um, so anyways, it really cut into my knitting, but I did manage to get that much done slow and steady, right? It'll get done when it gets done. And exactly, Sherry. It's so pretty. It will be a happy sad when it's finished. I know because I want it to be done so I can move on to another project, but I want it to keep going because I just like knitting with the yarn. It's like a good book. You exactly same thing. You want it to be done so you can move on to something else, but you don't want it done because you want the story to continue forever. So still kind of thing just like that. It's lovely. So, and I've decided I'm going to keep it for myself and I'm going to wear it this winter and I'm going to love it. It's going to be fantastic. Socks. That was the other thing that I worked on a little bit. A little bit this week. I did teach a sock knitting class again on Saturday at the Thoughtful Artisan in Woodstock. We're doing DK socks there, and this was class 2 out of 3. So the week before, obviously, we did a cast on, ribbing the leg, and they had to do their heel flap for their homework. They came back on Saturday and we turned the heel, we picked up gusset stitches and started to decrease them away. DK socks, you guys, knit so quick. Typically, when you teach a sock knitting class and you're using regular fingering weight yarn, people struggle to get the cuff and the leg knit in a week, let alone doing the heel flap. These guys, I knew it would knit up super, super quick. So I suggested that they could carry on, split their yarn and cast on sock 2. And most of them came in with 2 socks knit to the heel flap. So tell you, DK socks. Everybody needs DK socks for their holiday gift knitting. And I know some people think that DK socks, some people don't like them because they are thicker. I mean, there's always gonna be some people that don't like them, but I actually really, really like them. They're really cozy. This is mine that I'm working on. This was a New Start Monday project from, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago, maybe 5, I don't know. Can't remember what day. Just a number of weeks ago, not that long ago. The yarn, it's a one of a kind yarn dyed by Yarnbird Fibers, Yarnbird Studio. And it's Suzanne who owns one of our local yarn shops. And it is, oh, here we are, Yarnbird Studio. So there's no name on it, but it's gorgeous and it has a really good fall vibe to it, that kind of rusty burgundy. Yarnbird Studios. So superwash merino, I think that says 85%, 15% nylon, it's DK weight, 225 meters, 100 grams. So there's not a ton of yardage in this, as you can tell. I'm knitting a ladies medium, and I have a small foot, and this is what I'm going to have left over after. Well, this is what I have currently, and this is where I am. I'm just starting to decrease away gusset stitches, so I still have to do all of the foot and the toe with this. I will have yarn left over. I weighed sock number 1. I should end up with 5 grams left over when I'm finished this. So not a lot. So 225 grams. That's the weight of the yarn that I found at Kitchener's Knitter Fair for another DK socks. But with that kind of yardage, if you've got a larger foot or you want to cast on more stitches, yardage could be a problem with that. You may want to do shorties to make one skein, get you a pair. But anyways, this sock, the plan for this is to basically, I think I'll finish, or I get it down to the toe anyways. I may finish, I may get it to the toe. We'll wait and see. But decrease gusset stitches, knit the foot. That's the plan for this one. And what else? It's like I'm loving it. Loving DK socks, I have to tell you. Are you guys a DK sock knitter wearer? I know the yarn isn't as easy to find. Sometimes it seemed, I don't know, it seemed like a little while ago that it seemed easier to find. Now it seems like it's a little bit harder to find. Louise, I cast on 48 stitches and 3.25 millimeter needle. Now, having said that, if I was doing it again with this yarn, I think I would go down to, I would do it a little snugger, either going to a 3 millimeter needle and sticking with 48 stitches, or going down to maybe only putting on 40 stitches. I think, no, I think I would go needle size because I think I would just want it knit a little snugger. I mean, it fits, but I think I would go down down a needle size, make it snugger. But my other DK socks that really felt about the same, the Knit Picks DK sock yarn. I did 48 stitches, 3.25 millimeter, and they are knit nice and snug and tight. So just the difference in the yarn made the difference there. But with the Hawthorne, the DK Hawthorne sock yarn from Knit Picks, 48 stitches, 3.25, fits me perfect, nice and snug. Oh, okay, Louise. So you cast on 48 with a 2.75 size 7 shoe. Okay, so we're about the same. I'm a little bit bigger. And but yeah, those 48 stitch socks, they fit me great with and these ones here fit, they're fine. But you know, sometimes you got to play around with different yarns and see exactly what you like. I could have pulled this out, but I didn't. I was just like, nah, I'm just going to keep going. This is sock 2. First sock is done. And yeah, I'm just going to wear them the way they are and they will be fine. That's interesting though that you went all the way down to a 2.75 and seeing I usually knit loose, but with my blue pair, and I don't have those up here, but they will be a finish right shortly, and we can chat more about those. And yeah, I would not have had to go all the way down to 2.75, but that's just personal preference, right? And everybody's personal gauge, and you just kind of find that sweet spot, right, between your yarn and your needles. Hey Sam. So anyways, so socks. Okay, socks. Oh my gosh, you guys. I don't want to hear any I told you so's. My dainty sock has now been coined the never-ending sock. I when you get into that knitting black hole, I would have bet anything that I was ready to do the toe last night. Well, I did a couple more. I thought I had to do like maybe 2 rounds. Like I was so close. I had measured. I don't know what I was measuring, what I was looking at. I was not. I was still like an inch away. I don't know I don't know. Anyways, so I did do a little bit more and now I am with where I thought I was last night. I really truly am here now. So I have maybe a round or two and then I'm going to do the toe. And look, it has to be because it looks like it's ready, right? It looks the right size. So I'm almost there. I know, Liz. I know. I'm like, nope, no comments from Liz tonight. I was trying and then I was like, oh, there was like no way. I came home from work and it was either, okay, do I eat or do I try to do a couple of rounds on here so I could actually say I've started the toe? And I'm like, ugh, I'm hungry. So I ate. So anyways, this yarn, like really, I am getting my money's worth out of this yarn. How long have I been knitting this? Don't answer that. Um, and I get to keep going for one more night. Okay, Liz says eat before knitting. I know. I did. Lots of times I don't, but tonight I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to get this sock done anyway. So I'm like, forget it. I'm just going to eat. And I will just have to come on here and just say it is not done once again. But you guys, hold on to your knitting needles because there's going to be a time here really shortly that I'm going to come in. I'm going to have like all these socks. This DK sock can be done. My dainty sock is going to be done. My never ending shawl is going to be done. I will have one of those weeks where I just feel like a knitter who can finish things. And then I will just have to carry that finishing joyful vibe for like the next month and a half until I get more finishes. Okay, I think that is really it that I worked. No, it's not. I have a little something else to show you. Last week's project. Last week's Eric's birthday socks are on the needles. Remember this yarn that you all voted for? This like gorgeous fall, Thanksgiving, Halloweeny kind of yarn. So Lang J Wall, it's nice. It has the reinforcement nylon. Has the little I'm picturing the little thingy, the little spool. like a sewing spool, a spool of thread has the reinforcement thread that I haven't totally decided if I'm gonna use. Would you guys use it? I never have. I honestly don't think I have ever reinforced like heels, toes, bottom of the sock. I have never used it. Oh, Diane, you have used it? Okay, this is bringing back memories of another conversation that we have had when we've talked about this. So, how, and that's what I'm just thinking, how do you use it? Do you knit it in and just knit all the way around, like the whole, um, when you're doing like, I guess you could use it when you're knitting the heel flap. I guess I'm going to do heel flap and gusset. So I could hold it for the heel flap. I could hold it when I'm turning the heel. And then do you just knit all the way around the whole foot as you're decreasing gusset stitches? Do you do it the whole foot or do you um, cut the reinforcement thread and then just pick it up when you get to the toes and just do the end of the foot, the toes with it? I don't know. I need some advice. Should I? Oh, Jocelyn says, nope, I don't reinforce anything. Yeah, I never have either. So, Diane says, I have used it, especially when you aren't sure of the yarn content. Okay, that's a very good point because I did have some yarn that when I was sorting up here, I had some sock yarn. It was sock yarn weight, fingering weight, wound into a cake, and there was no ball band. And I'm like, okay, well, this has to be a shawl because I don't know. I'm assuming it has nylon in it, but I don't know for sure. So I'm thinking, okay, it's just going to be turned into a shawl. But I could put reinforcement thread with it, couldn't I? Then I would know it would be fine. Um, okay, so yes, hold it with your yarn. I hold it double with the yarn for the heel. So then you do, oh, Diane said I don't do the heel flap and gusset much. So literally just that little part of the heel. Okay. No, Liz, he doesn't. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I could just do it because I could. I can. I have it. It would be an experiment. I don't know. We'll wait and see. I have a little while before I have to worry about it, you guys, because I have an itty bitty cast on. So I'm going to try and make these matchy matchy. So I pulled out, well, I didn't really pull out, where I pulled up from the center of the ball and I pulled out just enough to cast on 72 stitches. I have an itty bitty tail. That was it. So I pulled I was right here at the beginning of a color change. So long tail cast on was this cream color. And I started casting on right where the orange started. So I had one color on top of the needle and the orange. So I could carry on. So I would know exactly where I was for sock number 2. I can find the same thing where the cream ends and the orange begins. I know I need to start right at that color join, that change. And so I've cast on. So it's going to have that little cream colored edge and orange. There's quite a bit. Well, I don't know. There's a fair bit of orange. So there'll be a few more rounds of orange and and then move into shades of green. So it's going to be a very fun knit now that it's on. And I'm hoping this week I am like willing myself to have more knitting time than I did last week. So there should be a lot more progress on here. I'm excited to work on these for Eric. And yeah, socks. And there was one more shawl I've got in my bag. I don't know if I actually knit on this, but I'm going to show it to you again because I really, 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 really am liking this one. And this is the Noro yarn from a couple of weeks ago. And I still haven't got into any of the bright colors. What do I got going on here? But oh my goodness, this is the modified triangle. And it's knitting up really nice. Look at that kind of purpley color now. I like this a lot. So this is just plain and simple yarn overs, the beginning and the end of every row. You see those ones there. And increases, yarn over increases on either side of that center stitch on the right side rows. And it's just going to be a one skein shawl, scarf, shawlette. Pick your word, whatever you use for a one skein project. So this is Noro Curian sock yarn. It's a 70 wool, 30 nylon. It's a very rusticy yarn. So probably not the best yarn for everybody to wear around their neck as a shawl, but it will be fine for me because I like the feel of a rusticy yarn. And I am getting close. So you can see in here, you can see I have a hole. You can see there's yarn missing in there. And I'm getting close to these really fun colors. Right now, it's going to change the whole feel of the shawl because right now it feels very wintry, very Halloweeny, kind of dark, you know, colors with purple on here. And then all of a sudden there's going to be a pop of bright colors. So it's going to be really fun. Oh, Dawn, you got to head out. Well, I'm so glad you stopped in. Have a great week, and we will catch up with you next Monday. Yeah, so this is really, really fun. This is a great knit night shawl. Again, you no counting, no pattern reading. Just look at your whether you're on the right side, wrong side row. You know where your increases are, and you just knit away. It's great. It's perfect for um, knit night, in-person knit nights, Zoom calls, all those kind of things where you can just knit. Binge watching something. This is one of these projects, like my never ending shawl. Everybody needs at least one or two or three of these cast on. So you've got something that you can pick up and knit, right? When you don't want to have to be trying to turn your heel or doing a cable project or something. So, anyways, this one is on the needles as well, and it'll get done at some point as well. What else have I thought? The Fiber Friends. Okay, so the Fiber Friends Stripe Challenge ends tonight. And you know what? I said last night I was going to go into Ravelry and open up that thread, and I did not. So I'm going to have to try and remember to do it tonight. Liz, you can give me a reminder message if it's not open tomorrow, okay? Um, anyways, stripes are finishing. There was a lot of really fun projects over in the Fiber Friends Facebook group. People were posting all their finishes and their works in progress. But now, as of tomorrow, October 1st, we're moving into textured knits. And who is somebody doing Alice? Was it Alice? Are you doing a cabled pumpkin? Because we decided last night that cables count as a textured stitch. So if you're doing something with cables, we did cables last month, August. So if you happen to be still working on a project, it will count again for textured knits, or if you're doing something like a pumpkin that has cables, that will totally count as well, which will be lots of fun. Oh, Sam, you sent me a message. Okay. Well, maybe my pumpkin. Maybe I should make my pumpkin textured so it will count for the Fiber Friends challenge. Yes, I don't know. I was thinking, I don't know, seed stitch or something with baubles for my texture project. Kind of feeling something with baubles. I could do, I don't know, a pumpkin with baubles. That might, I don't know. What do you, I don't think so. I don't think so. But possibly cables. Possibly cables. All right. Has anybody put any thought into what their textured stitch, I mean, seed stitch? I love seed stitch. You know what I found? Hmm. Okay, I found it, but I don't know where I set it. What? Oh, yes, I do. It's right here. Let's take a little look at some of the things that I found. Oh my gosh, Nancy, you're right. It could be a gourd with, yeah, a pumpkin with baubles on it would look very textury, and it could look like a gourd, couldn't it? Oh my god. Okay. I found this bag. Susie Shear. Oh, I don't even know what I bought from Susie Shear, but I got a bag. Anyways, I have a bag that has knitting in it. There's a few things in here that some of you are going to be super happy about this. These are things that are getting pulled out, ripped out, and I'm going to reclaim the needles. If there's still needles on here. I did find a few needles. So this is just a little brioche sample that I had maybe for a class. Flamingo socks. You guys, my flamingo socks are finished. But so this, I think I'm just gonna pull this out and put this into a striped project. This little bit. It's classic wool, so I'm gonna get rid of that. Then I have 2 balls of purple. I think, oh, you haven't okay. Oh, well, I'm sure they're done, Susanna. I know I finished those. I'll have to see if I can have a picture. I'll have to see if I can find the socks. They, yeah, I haven't, they probably got washed up and put in the back of my sock drawer. Okay, yes, Jude's saying I did, I did. I know. I'm sure I finished those. I'm sure I remember. I've worn those. Yeah, I'll have to go look. I haven't looked at my sock drawer in a few months here, so I'll have to go look. Now, these 2 purples, I'm sure this is yarn that came from Little Red Mitten. Oh my gosh, the name Sans Garn. It looks like it's a worsted weight. 2 shades of purple. I have a feeling that this was going to be a brioche project. I'm thinking, and it was on a needle, but I pulled the needle out last night. So I don't know what this was going to be. A hat, a cowl. I don't know. It's not too much to pull out here. I'm going to rip this out, put these, I'm going to weigh them, put them on a shelf, and they are be ready to be turned into probably just another hat of some sort. I have another brioche project in here, and I cannot remember what this yarn is. It's still on the needle. And again, just off to a good start on this, but I do like the colors together though. So there's green variegated and the gray. But what yarn it is, I don't know. This is my goal for next year, and I have a lot of them, but I gotta do a better job at keeping my ball bands with my projects. I think I need the ball bands and the projects need to stay in the same project bag until they're done. I think it's kind of a ripple effect. I need to improve in a few areas next year to try to keep track of some things. I almost have a feeling that this yarn came from the Thoughtful Artisan. Again, for a brioche cowl. It's definitely brioche. But I'm going to pull this all out, reclaim the yarn, put the needle back in with my needles, so I've got something that I can work on. Jude, I have a lot of super sexy Ziploc bags. Yes. I do not have enough project bags for all of my projects. And yes, I do end up using Ziploc bags or, bags such as this. You know, whatever I have, I kind of use. But you know what I found in here? And this project has been from a number of years ago. I don't remember I don't remember what pattern I was knitting. Don't remember what book or which magazine it was out of, but I do remember it was some kind of a wrap, a shawl. It's like it's on the tip of my memory. I remember like it was in a book or a magazine. Like I can kind of see it, but I don't know where it is. Anyways, it has see, textured knits. This is I bought a bunch of this. This is classic wool, and this is the Mercury colorway because I ended up with a ton of balls of this yarn. Look at there's cable, there's seed stitch. Like this is cable, or I mean texture. This is texture knits right here. But this is it. So I think I was knitting it sideways. So obviously, okay, so I'm going this way. Yeah. So I have to be knitting it down, and then the cable was on the one end. So this must, I don't know how it was supposed to go. Is this going to go, I don't know, up here? There is this, yeah, this is what it was. I don't even know. I don't know. Um, was it from a magazine that you found at the retreat house? No, Louise, because this was from before that. This is pre-retreat house. But I found one of those magazines, and I found one project that came from the retreat house magazines. Maybe a poncho Jude. It might have been like a big wraparound, 2 pieces. It could Jude, I think you're right. I think this was a poncho. I think that was the plan. And then this cable thing was supposed to go down one side and look really stylish and fancy, but I can't remember. So I was thinking about it last night. I thought, oh, is there no, I can't. It's gonna be like, is there any way I could turn this into a cowl? um, oh, Sam says it was a vest. Hmm. Was it supposed to be a vest, Sam? I'm thinking, well, it could be. I mean, it could be. Was it a project that we started at our Thursday afternoon group? I don't know. Poncho kind of rings a bell. I don't know. Most of the time, I can keep kind of track of what things were, where the pattern was. Excuse me. Why I cast on what it was supposed to be. But this one, a wrap, a poncho, that's really the only thing that I'm thinking about. Oh, it's got a cute little stitch marker here. Anyways, I'm gonna take this out. It's classic wool. I could use it for something else, but I don't know. I'm just gonna take, and there's a needle. Can put it back, use it for something else for next year, and just reclaim this yarn because this could have been. I think this is even like pre New Start Monday Knits project, and I've been doing this every Monday night since the first Monday, like January 1st, 2020. So I've been doing this every Monday for 4 years, and this is I'm sure this is before this. So I'm gonna take this out, reclaim this yarn, but maybe it does look good in seed stitch, right? Maybe I'll just reknit it into I don't know what. But I'm going to all of you guys who tell me sometimes I should pull out some of my projects, any ones that are really old, like older than the last 2 years, and if I come across them and I don't want to finish them or I can't find the pattern or whatever, 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 I'm going to take them out, reclaim the needle, wind up the yarn, use it for something else, and carry on. Because I'm excited about this crochet challenge that we're going to do starting January 1st. So, and somehow I have got this thought that if I have my bazillion knitting projects organized and some of them finished, some of them um just what's the word? frogged, that I'm going to feel like I can somehow manage a square a day of crochet and still get some knitting done as well. Hey Wendy, how are you? Happy Monday. So anyway, so I'm like super excited, you guys. Like I don't want to get you guys excited yet, but I'm going to be able to show you like around this room in the near future. Maybe, yeah, not soon, but soon. So not soon, but I don't know, you know what I mean? It's coming. I'm getting there. I made like super good progress. I found my Norway yarn, um, which if I'd been a little more organized, it would have been a really good cast on to use my Norway yarn for this week, but I think it will be a next week cast on because it's been 5 years since I did my trip to Norway with Asa and Rita and Wendy and Elena, and we had so much fun. So much fun. I am going to go through my pictures and I'm going to do some posts over the next couple of days of some of kind of recapping our trip and all the yarn shops we went to and all the fun that we had. Can't believe it's been 5 years. Oh my goodness. But such beautiful, beautiful yarn, great memories. It was a fantastic trip. So I'm going to share some of those with you because that was just before I started doing regular podcasting, which is unfortunate because if I had been starting it, the trip to Norway would have been a great thing to show you guys every day. But um anyways, I started just after it. So unfortunately, that trip didn't get documented, in social media and all the places. Sherry, did I do a full colorwork garment from Norway yarn? No. But what I did was I finished a Lopi all over colorwork sweater probably when I came home. I took it with me and I was knitting it on the train and I was knitting it in the hotel. Of course, the plan was I was going to have it finished before the trip so I could wear it. And that didn't quite happen. So then I thought I would finish it while I was there. And that didn't quite happen. So, but I did finish it. And there is some Norway yarn in there because Rebecca and I found another little yarn shop. Asa had a night she was meeting some friends and I think she went to the opera. And Rebecca and I were on our own in Oslo in the evening. And it was, oh my gosh, we had so much fun going in all the little shops and finding places to eat. And then we found another yarn kind of crafty store and they had Lopi. So I bought a couple more balls of Lopi there and I put one of those into the sweater. So it does have Norway yarn in it. So, anyways, it yeah, that's right. So it was kind of yeah. It is sort of kind of a Norway sweater and it is warm. Holy moly, it is that Lopi is oh my gosh. It is really, really, really warm. It is really warm. It has to be a really cool day to be able to wear that sweater. But I did come home with yarn. Hold on, let me grab it if I can. Sorry. um I grabbed the wrong bag. That's not Norway yarn. Um, do I have Norway yarn here? Hold on. Let me try again. This one here. I think this one's got Norway yarn in it. I was trying to keep it set it aside. Yes. Sorry if the Ziplocs crinkly in your ear, but oh my gosh, you guys. This is nice. 100% pure organic wool. Remember the little yarn shop that we got this in? Oh, this was going to be Mitts. I bought this for Mitts. And this is nice. Oh my gosh, this feels so nice. So this is a DK weight from Denmark. 4 to 5 millimeter. Anyways, really nice blue. Isn't that lovely? So there was some of this. This yarn came from Bergen when we took the train over to Bergen. And this came from the Hillesvåg factory, which is right there. That is it. That's the buildings is the factory. Which way? Yes, this is nice. So I bought enough yarn for a couple of sweaters that I have not knit, but and I know Asa every once in a while is like, when are you gonna knit that yarn? And I'm like, I don't want to knit it because once it's knit and it's I don't have it. Well, I mean, I have the sweater, but um anyways, I'm like, I can't seem to knit it. So when I finish finding, there is more. I can see another bag. I've got quite a lot of it. Maybe I'll see how much I can find. Maybe next week we can go through some of the Norway yarn again. Those two colors are the same. But yeah, I've got a lot of some really, really pretty yarn that maybe I can show you, do a little recap of the Norway trip all this week in Instagram, and then we can talk about some of the yarn next Monday night. That would be fun. Kind of relive this wonderful trip. Okay, well that I think. What else do I? Oh, it's after 9 o'clock. Okay, I'm getting carried away chatting. So that is about it, you guys. I've got socks. I've got shawls. I've got hats. I found another shawl that I had been working on. It was like a flower press. No, I think the yarn had a flower name and it came across it. So I'm going to pull it out and set it aside because it's one that I would like to get finished as well some point soon. Anyways, oh, Jocelyn say, oh, see you Friday. Is it? Um, oh my goodness. It will be Friday, won't it? Because Friday is the first Friday of the month and it is our check-in night. So yes, we will be here Friday night. Okay, Jocelyn, you're right. Oh, Sam, what was your last comment? Oh, I remember when you went to Norway. Oh, that's right. We sang happy birthday to you from the hotel room in Norway. And it was like, well, it would have been after midnight. We did it when we were doing our Friday night lives in the Facebook group. It was what, 6 o'clock for you guys, and we were up till after midnight. And then we had to get up super early and drive. We had to go, no, we were still in Oslo. Maybe we were driving to Bergen. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to think about that. Also, you can tell me. We were in. Huh, I'm gonna have to think about that. Anyways, yeah, we stayed up really, really late and did our Friday night live, and then we had classes. Asa and I did the knitting class the very next day, and we had stayed up really, really late. Anyway, it was so much fun. Yes, so many good memories. All right, well, you guys, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna gather up all my knitting projects. I'm gonna work on that pumpkin. I'm gonna find some needles, cast on this pumpkin, and see how many I can get done over the week. Hopefully, I may find some different yarn and knit some different pumpkins. So we'll come back next week. We'll chat about pumpkins and we'll figure out what the new start Monday is going to be for next week. And I'll have some hopefully a good chunk of progress done on Eric's birthday socks that I can show you. So everybody have a great week. Thank you so much for voting. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for hanging out, spending your Monday night with us all. It is so much fun. I will see. Well, it's Friday night. Jocelyn and I'll be back here. So love to have you join us Friday night, grab another knitting project and get settled in. We start the week with New Start Mondays, and we're going to end the work week with Jocelyn and I chatting. So we'd love to have you join us. Have a fantastic week, everybody. Happy knitting, and we'll see you on Friday. Good night.